Hey guys, what's up? JK with Porn Reboot here. Let's talk a little bit about strip clubs. I think going to strip clubs is fucking pathetic. Going to strip clubs, in my opinion, to be entertained there by women. If you're single and you don't have a lot of sexual experiences, a surefire way to make sure that you will not have a lot of fulfilling sexual experiences in your life with a woman is to start visiting strip clubs, or to make a habit of visiting strip clubs. I've talked to hundreds of men, and every time I get on the phone with a guy who has a strip club problem, they're one of two types. Super busy and accomplished, and they don't have time to go out there and meet women. They don't have time to engage in sexual experiences, but they've had sexual experiences prior to their relationship, so they're getting lazy. They don't want to work on the intimacy in their relationship. They don't want to work on the sexual life in their relationship, so they just go to strip clubs and blow money. I think it's pathetic. The second type is the single or the married guy without a lot of experience. So the guy who, his wife is his first sexual partner, and he has a problem with pornography, and now he has a problem with strip clubs because that's the only way that he can go out there and have some sort of stimuli from attractive women, because he hasn't put himself out there and learned how to communicate with women. But the single guy, he hasn't put himself out there and put in the work to look better and be attractive to women and communicate with women. But a guy who is in a relationship, well, porn is usually the one thing that's fueling his strip club problem. And just a little aside, there are also some men whose first sexual experience was a strip club. And this means that you watched porn, but you've never touched a woman, you've never had any sort of intimacy with a woman, nothing. But you went to a strip club and a woman touched you, a woman was grinding on you. That was so real, and there was so much stimuli that you kept going back. You keep going back to just get this exciting stimuli, to release all these chemicals in your body. And so that becomes your preferred way of sexual stimulation. I don't know what the exact percentage is, but once in a while I'll run across brothers like that. And I don't want to leave you guys out. I know you're out there and I know you're struggling with this. I have nothing to say about the strippers themselves. I understand how the world works, and whether I like it or not is irrelevant, because I know people have to hustle, and unfortunately, sometimes those are the things that individuals find themselves doing to feed their kids, put food on the table, and so on and so forth. But if you're doing that, if you're visiting strip clubs and you're doing that, and at the same time hoping to get laid, hoping to get into a relationship, hoping to have an exciting sexual life, you are just destroying your chances of that, because it's so easy to go to a strip club. And when you have a problem with strip clubs, man, it's devastating to not be able to drive past a strip club without pulling over and going in there. That's a horrible feeling. I wouldn't trade my former porn addiction for that. Nope, I'd much rather deal with porn. So what do you need if you have a problem with strip clubs? What can you do? You need two things. You need boundaries, and you need accountability. There's no debating this. You must have these two things. I had a client the other day who I told him he lived in a big enough city, he has a problem with strip clubs. He was like, well, JK, what can I do? I'm willing to do anything. I was like, bro, why don't you get rid of your car? He was like, what? My car? Get rid of my car? It's like, yeah, it's like other people commute, right? You can Uber to work, you can take the train to work. You live in a big enough city where public transportation is awesome. And whenever you're isolated in your vehicle, it's so easy for you to be in your head, to be in your thoughts, to have your little voice in your head take over and always pull up to a strip club. But when you're not isolated and it's out of your way, you are so much less likely to do it. That's a lifestyle change. That's also a boundary. Also, when you have an accountability partner, you can start letting them know when you're triggered to visit a strip club. Of course, if porn is the root of the issue, if porn is what you're using to fuel it, then you can also let them know that your slip with pornography is setting you on the path to ending up in a strip club. When you have an accountability partner, that's somebody you can speak to and they can talk you through the process. When the urge is just overwhelming and you're like, fuck it, I'm gonna go get my fix, I'm gonna do that. When you have euphoric recall and your brain is just flooded with adrenaline, you're like, I saw the sign, I saw a flyer, I saw something, I sensed something, I smelled something that reminded me of that, and it's almost as if I'm back there again. And I want to go. Get on the phone, speak to your accountability partner. They talk you through it. They keep you accountable through the day. I know. Some of you watching this is just like, shit, JK, do I have to do that shit? Isn't there like an easier way? No. There's no easy way. You need boundaries, which may include a lifestyle change, and you're definitely going to need accountability. It also helps to know that that is pathetic. And I'm not saying it to shame you. I'm just letting you know that that is the mindset that I had when I first heard of the concept of strip clubs. Which, believe it or not, I didn't know much about strip clubs until I began my recovery. Because I had started crossing some serious boundaries, and I was at a point where I was just like, holy shit, I'm going to ruin my life here. I'm about to start acting out beyond porn addiction. But that was when my recovery began, and one of the mindsets that I had was that I will never watch pornography or masturbate. If I want sexual release, it is going to be with a woman. That was one of my values. It is going to be with a woman. It is going to be consensual. She's going to be excited about it. I'm going to be excited about it. Even though around that time I also had PIED. So usually she was excited and I was fucking up. But it's okay. That's part of the recovery process. You got to be positive about your PIED, guys. You got to change the way you think about it. Learn to laugh at it when you know that you're going to overcome it. You know, it's okay. Don't take it too seriously. But yeah, once I made that decision, that was it. And once you make that decision for yourself, I guarantee you this is what's going to happen. Going to a strip club, it's going to sound like such a stupid idea. Sitting around with a bunch of dudes looking at naked women dancing. You know, if you were living hundreds of years ago and you were a king and you had a harem or some shit like that, you know, that's just stupid. I get it, and for the sake of supporting my clients, I make a serious effort to understand it. But that does not change the fact that the mindset that I want you to have is that it is a low behavior. You know, it is a behavior that a man of your caliber does not engage in. What does it matter if they are highly successful men who are in the strip club? It doesn't fucking matter. You know, don't look at other dudes and go like, well, other guys are doing it here, you know, they're having a good time. That's bullshit. You know, instead, focus on your relationship. Focus on building intimacy in your relationship. That's it, brothers. Listen, for those of you who are business owners, for those of you who are executives, for those of you who are professionals who work in careers where there's high stress, okay? This is what I mean by high stress. I don't mean you work in a job that is not supposed to be stressful, but you are stressful because you don't have the skills to handle it. No. I mean, if you work in a career that puts you under a lot of stress, if you're a cop, if you are a surgeon, if you're a firefighter, if you're in a naturally high stress profession, then we have a Facebook group for you. There's screening to get into this Facebook group. All right, so there's a link to it. It's called Executive Recovery. It's a very special group. The contents that I put in there is uniquely designed for your situation. It's absolutely free, not selling you anything. There's just a need for some of you. And I understand what it's like to have a career that's non-stop, where you're just cranking it. 13, 16 hours, 24-hour shifts, 48-hour shifts. I'm going like, JK, the porn reboot system sounds awesome, but how do I incorporate it into my life when so many people depend on me? You know, when I'm required to perform at such a high level. How do I do this? It sounds impossible. That's what we're going to be teaching you in this private Facebook group. All right? I'm JK, your brother in this struggle. Stop going to fucking strip clubs. I'll see you on the brighter side of this journey. Have a wonderful day.